I can do this one very briefly, I hope. Kevin Jordan says, can anyone even name a progressive hero? One who struggled against actual opposition that wasn't completely consistent with classically conservative views? Challenge extended. Bill. And related to that, Ray Schneider says, why don't modern movies reflect legitimate moral values anymore, and what can be done about it? I put those two together because the left in Hollywood has a set of moral values that they try to inflict upon the rest of the country. And all of these anti-war Iraq movies were inflicting the leftist view of Iraq on Americans. It's a war for oil fought by murderers and psychopaths. And Redacted made $25,000 total American theatrical gross. I made $27,000 for first weekend of opening up a published book called Silent America, because I was speaking to Americans as they are, and Brian De Palma, A-list Hollywood director, was speaking to Americans the way he wanted them to be. He was talking down to them and giving them his opinion, which is diseased. It's a diseased opinion. But I think the much deeper issue is storytelling is about heroes, and it's about individual heroes. When we say individual hero, you're a conservative. Right? That's it. We talk about conservatives, liberals, we talk about Republicans and Democrats, we talk about all these terms, but really there's only there's a difference of opinion on one issue. Is the collective more important than the individual, yes or no? Are you an individualist or are you a collectivist? Period. If you believe in subsidized, socialized healthcare, you believe in the collective over the individual. If you believe that people should have the right to get health insurance at their own price or not get it or whatever, you're an individualist. It's pretty simple, really. It's pretty simple. Individualism is very rare, very modern. It's only occurred once in history, in 1776, and it's been a big success, but the collectivists are trying to take the effort and the work of individuals and redistribute it to themselves. Simple. Now, the reason that we are in such good shape is because the idea of a story is about an individual on a quest for their personal desire. Individual, personal desire, you're conservative. And usually in the movies that succeed, it's because that person is in danger against a faceless enemy, or it may have a face on it, but it's usually not just one guy. It's usually a guy representing the government or Spectre or Smersh or whatever. And as I said, I thought one of the best lines I ever came up with spontaneously was, James Bond does not go on a mission armed with a strongly worded letter from the United Nations, and he doesn't leave the scene of the casino to chase the murderer in a Prius driving away at a sensible speed. And that's a problem for progressives, because they believe in Priuses and driving at sensible speeds, and they don't believe that people should have guns. But they can't tell a story like that, because you can't tell a story like that. You don't ever have a story where the world is in danger and a coalition of housewives dressed in pink take a petition to Hitler and say, we want you to stop. And Hitler goes, wow, I never realized how evil I was until I was confronted with your pure moral authority. That doesn't happen. Those stories get laughed out of court, and they should get laughed out of court. I frankly, as I was saying it, I'd like to have a scene where a group of mothers and housewives dressed in shocking pink go up to an Adolf Hitler with a strongly worded letter. And I would only like that scene to be the very first scene in the movie, because, as you say, sometimes you have to show people how the monster works. That's why the red shirts are the red shirts on the next gen on Star Trek, the original series. That's why when you beam down and you're going to a planet and the landing party consists of Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and you, Mr. Security Guard, chances are pretty good you're going to be there to show the audience how the monster works. Now think about it. How many times does that happen on Star Trek? How does the monster work? We got to kill somebody to show us how the monster works. We can't kill Kirk to show us how the monster works. We got to kill some spear carrier. Oh, it's a giant, salt vampire. Or it's an energy cloud. Or it's this, or it's that, or it's whatever it is. Somebody's got to die to show us how the monster works. And anyway, the collective doesn't do anything heroic because they can't, because it doesn't take any individual risk. And so the short form is, Kevin, there are no progressive heroes because progressivism is not heroic. That's as pithy as it's going to get. I'm going to just move on right now.